what's going on? How are you? Let's get to business, all right? A short story. First of all, we know what we're here for. It's some anime stuff. My friend's got a problem, okay? And I'm sharing it here for obvious reasons. You might have struggled with the same thing. A girl came into town, okay? Very short period of time. They meet up. They hit it off. They're in what we like to call the talking stage. The stage in which you speak to one another. You send Snapchats, you send text messages, you maybe send some spicy photos. A lot of things happen in this area. But the unfortunate bridge is she's only here for a couple of weeks and he caught feelings. All right? Now the problem is you are not in the driver's seat in the talking stage. It's kind of like one of those test driver deals. You got a wheel, she's got a wheel. There's two wheels going on, and we both wheel in a way. You turn left, she turns right, and you go, hey, why you turning right? She's like, hey, why you turning left? There's some tension, and now we split apart. Very simple, easy peasy. Sometimes, when you're driving the boat, there's the pre-glacier warning. But this is a hindsight moment. We won't talk about that. We've already hit the glacier. You understand what I'm saying? We've already crashed. We've already split in half. Going along with the earlier analogy. The boat is sinking. It's time to salvage whatever's left. Don't look back. Gather everything you can and get out the door. You might have to leave the PS5. You hear what I'm saying? Grab the wallet, grab the important docs folder, and exit stage left. Leave with your dignity. Maybe after years of trauma and therapy, you can get back on a boat again. But that was not the time. You don't turn right back from the Titanic, right back on the Titanic. You go from big boat to little boat. You go from big boat to safety boat. And they don't have engines, okay? They're just a bob in the water. I hope that makes sense to you. Fall Anime 2024 in a nutshell. Let's get into it.
Getting closer to the end of the year. In my opinion, so far, 2024 hasn't quite reached the caliber of previous years yet. Not that it's been a bad year for anime by any means, but the last few years it felt like full-on juggernaut years of anime, but fall 2024 could be about to change all that. We've got massive new shows, massive returning shows, hidden gems, more shows anyone could reasonably heap up with, and even following a summer anime season full of love and romance, we still have our dose of wholesome romances like Blue Box and, what's this? Wait, this is the complete opposite of wholesome. Who the hell would get invested in a love story like
That is wife. She's so invested. I want another 10 liters of blood from you before I'm satisfied. But I like this. Wait.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He's hot.
Yeah. I tried the last season of anime and then I deleted Crunchyroll because I was unimpressed. I downloaded Hulu to watch Bleach. Let's get into it. I'm loading.
Don't you hate it when that happens? Doing what I do, maintaining a solid internet connection for me and my team, no matter what. Wi-Fi was in the remote. That's how I. But with most with a lot, so 7 probably going to coupon. Traveling, running the QR for 15% discount. And with that said, let's get back to this season's anime.
Well, okay, seems simple enough.
どこにしようか。そう固くならないで。時はくんとこれを楽しめるなんて嬉しいな。はい、笑って。
Ladies and gentlemen, they finally made it. Canonically straight yaoi. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. Is this for the usual fan base? Is this a hit up a whole new demographic? Or as my wife calls it, is this just yaoi for cowards? All I'm saying is, boys, have you ever looked at your bro and thought, damn, I'm straight but bro's looking good today? Now, what if your bro still looks like a bro, acted like a bro, talked like a bro, but was actually a girl dressed up as a bro? You ever thought how that make you feel? Yeah, me neither. Basically,
no. That's so specific, brother.
See, what I'm trying to say is, sometimes it takes a real woman to be best boy. Summer only gave us a handful of high-profile sequels, but there's certainly not a lack of them this time. Bleach is once again continuing one of the biggest comebacks we've seen in anime. For the gamers, we have Shang.
Thank you.
Shangri-La Frontier and Gun Gale Online 2.
That Shangri-La anime, by the way, that anime was so dope for like the first 6 episodes or whatever. And then it just slowly fell off to where now I have to just like power through the last couple of episodes to watch season 2.
And Gun Gale Online 2. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 isekai returning, which of course includes the return of ReZero after a 4-year-long wait. It has been a hot minute since I last saw this. I gotta check the patch notes quickly. Okay. What the fuck? I'm not gonna lie, I tried watching the first episode of this one, then I realized it's been way too long, so I'll probably need a refresher on season 2 first. Needless to say, this is the only time I can see weebs switching to the dub en masse to prevent subtitles covering up Amelia's character development. Blue
Nice.
Now, after becoming...
She does have increased breast size since the last season.
the top-selling manga of 2023, outselling the likes of Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, even goddamn One Piece. I can say the newest anime really is continuing that legacy, giving us the most faithful adaptation fans could ask for by truly making you feel like you're reading a manga.
Just move! If you guys know what this moves, I want to see some movement. I'm not seeing enough movement.
There's a remake of Ranma, continuing the trend of resurrecting old classics to the modern day, and this is actually perfect for me, because I actually have never watched Ranma before.
Really?
Outside of just a few episodes I watched as a kid, and I barely have any memory of, aside from, was there boobs? We have our usual suspects in the fantasy category. Of course, we get another villainous anime. There's Sid from Eminence in Shadow if he wasn't actually OP, except everyone still believed that he is. I think this is what Crunchyroll sees in their mind's eye when someone mentions High Guardian Spice. Guys, I know we like to look down on that trope of having your protagonist buy slaves even though he's helping them out by letting the slaves join his party. I can understand how that can be a bit morally grey, so how about this protagonist? A guy who completely flips things on his head. See, he doesn't help slaves by buying them, he's helping out his party members by selling them into slavery.
What?
Wait, is that how it's supposed to work? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's all the new non-sequel isekai like usual? Is the era of isekai actually coming to an end? What's this one about? Damn. Even isekai is sick of isekai. Alright, enough of this stuff. What's the actual new hottest show this season?
Yeah! Get the hell out of my house. Get out! Don't you ever use the word suckle in my presence again, damn it!
Smells like milk. Kind of looks like milkshake.
Is that good? Did you like it?
Dandadan.
What was it?
Based on a manga from yet another one of Tatsuki Fujimoto's former assistants. Now, what the hell was this team that he had assembled? A team that has now given us the likes of Chainsaw Man, Hell's Paradise, Dandadan,
I like
and
that.
Spy Family. Broccoli was just on this team vibing in the corner. Something special must have been happening at that studio to pump out hit after hit after hit, and Dandadan looks like it's standing up with the best.
What are these screenshots from? Okay, I don't know who that is, but I don't care about that screenshot. That is sick. That's from Spy Family, right? I've seen that. What is this? And what is... We know what that is. And nope, that one's butt. All right.
Standing up with the best of them.
What is this? What is these? What are these things?
Shonen Jump titles can sometimes feel like they're playing things by the book, following the tried and tested formula. So does Dandadan fit that mold? No, I don't even know how to describe the premise of the opening episode, but it plays out like a fever dream based on an Alex Jones monologue. Aliens, ghosts, psychic powers, spirit mediums, and then there's this old lady who sees a boy and goes,
Bro, what are we watching? I can't believe this just happened. I was minding my own business in a tunnel whilst on the phone to someone, and out of nowhere, Turbo Granny showed up and made some very inappropriate comments about my dong. Not only that, but she then went on to actually steal my dong from me. That's right. She actually took my dong away. I was going to let this go, but something had to be said about this before it happens to someone else. I have proof. And this has to stop. Turbo Granny has gobbled her last dog.
This anime is
many
anything
characters.
but by the book, which is why Science Saru is not only the perfect studio to adapt it, but you get the sense that they've gotten their dream project. This is
What
the
the
anime
hell?
studio equivalent of find someone who matches your freak. The animation is oozing with expression and character through every single goddamn frame of this show, even by their normal standards, and they just keep going every new episode.
That's sick. That
This
design
is
is
the
really
show to
dope.
be watching this season, and if the weirdness doesn't turn you off, you are in for one amazing ride to come.
That
We got
mask
another
is dope with the big ass teeth.
anime original. Let's see what this one's all about.
He tried to smurder himself
Holy shit,
and
did he just
failed.
try to-
Always check your studs, okay? And if you're trying to get something with a lot of weight, try more depth. You know what I'm saying? Some of my guys know what I'm talking about. Hey-o.
Damn. He does not look like he's in a good place, and the doctors just gave him 2 years to live? Wow. What a
Dang.
way to start the episode. So,
Might
this
as well
is the
grind it
story
out,
about
brother.
a man with a terminal
Brother.
illness, huh?
Fist? Hey!
Oh, okay. So we're doing this now. When I imagine
Okay.
what would be in a cozy fishing anime, I don't normally associate it with a guy failing neck pull-ups, getting cancer, drowning in crippling debt, and getting scammed by the crypto market. Bro can apparently catch anything except a break. But this one's been interesting. For a series with such
Not
heavy
catching it, but a
topics, the
break is
vibes
good.
have been on point. It kind of reminds me of Welcome to the NHK with a fishing twist, and I'm intrigued to see where this series goes.
どうせもう長くは生きていないんで人がそんな簡単に死んでたまるかよ
Did he just call terminal illness as a skill
He literally just said, get good, bitch. He literally looked at him and said, have you ever tried saying, stop it? Which is one of my favorite solutions for things I don't like. Have you tried not? Huh? Think about that next time.
妹に勝る者などこの世にはいない
Hey, go on, come get your man. Hey, this is my man. Come get your man. Stop saying it's my man. Bro, come get your man. Why does everyone keep telling me that this is my man? Somehow, this managed to be regression, incest, and NTR all in one. Going back in
I
time to
don't want
avoid
to look
marrying
up any of those phrases in detail.
a guy who secretly wants to bang his sister. Well, that's the beauty of the regression genre. You can go back to being a 15-year-old to redo your life choices. Let's see who the next man in line is.
私はその年齢的に
理想的だ
Ideal! He's a criminal! He's a criminal!
Sometimes people can really stretch
not
the
reading
definition
that.
of a hidden gem, but I've seen almost no talk about this show that has piqued my interest like
Or-
few other anime have.
or-
On the movements of the earth. It's 15th century Poland, a time when you can get arrested, tortured, burned
Ooh,
at the
shit.
stake simply for researching any heretical beliefs that go against the common sense teaching
Then why were they available? If you didn't want me to read it, why did you write it down and leave it available to the public? How's that on me, brother? Listen to me. You write some shit down in a book, I read the book, now it's my fault that I read the book. It's your fault for writing the book or keeping the book. Burn the books, not the people. God damn, my flesh is burnable, but it's not comfortable. It leaves me with a big owie.
one already knows. God created Earth and thus put it at the center of the universe.
What?
Enter Rafał, a genius, logical kid who just wants an easy life with a curious hobby in astronomy. He's going to study theology for an easy life path to further appreciate the teachings of God, until, by chance, he meets a convicted heretic who blackmails him and gives him something so awful, so dangerous, it could
book.
get him killed. An idea. What if the Earth wasn't the center of the universe? The stars didn't revolve around the world, but instead the Earth revolved around the sun. A stupid
Why is the civilization so developed that's having this question? We've known the answer to this for a very long time.
nonsensical idea that Rafał immediately dismisses as he goes home confident that he can disprove that idea in a single night. But as he starts thinking, as he starts entertaining the thoughts, mapping out the models, doing everything he can to dismiss the theory only to find himself falling deeper into it, he realizes something terrifying.
Right.
Shit. What if this idea is actually right? It's rare nowadays that I see a concept I have never seen before, but this one fit the bill perfectly. A series about dropping the biggest twist on Earth lore in human history while having to keep it secret from the church to avoid death? Sign me the hell up. This is Nicholas Copernicus' Vinland Saga Star with some genuinely fantastic storytelling and characters. Outside of Dandadan, this has been the new show I've been excited about the most. Take my advice. Go in blind and give this the 3-episode rule and you won't be disappointed.
Okay, that's a really, really good suggestion. Whoever thought we were going to take astronomy and add anime fights to it? The possibilities are limitless. I'm down for
We
it.
got yet another I Can Fix Him quirky romance story about a girl getting into arranged marriage with a downright psychopath of a man that could only ever lead to the most toxic relationship of all time. You don't need to be a genius to see that this is just a bad idea. If you asked him what item best describes him, it'd probably be this. I mean, just look at him. I gotta ask, girls, is this the kind of man you really want? Do you really think he can be fixed? I just think that...
Give me that.
Sydney, I'm recording. Hey, get Sydney.
I am hijacking this video to give you a public service announcement. Ladies, are you tired of the same old boring anime nice guy love interest? Don't you want a fictional man with a little bit of spice to him? A man who's so infatuated with you, so obsessed with you, that he will protect you, keep you safe, even kill for you! In a fictional setting. Sure, he might be a little mentally unstable. Sure, he might break a few laws.
He's not
but
all there.
he will worship you like the goddess you are! Like the goddess you deserve to be! Take your boring vanilla protagonists. Keep your majestic Prince Charmings. Why do we keep ignoring the undeniable fact that a little bit of crazy is just that little bit hot? Again, in a fictional setting. So I say to you, we don't want to fix him. We don't want him to be fixed. I hereby declare, I proudly let him ruin my life.
I apologize about that, guys. I assure you, we only promote healthy relationships in this household. Okay, let's just move on. What do we got next? More Danmachi. All right, let's see what we got here.
What?
Gentlemen, are you tired of the same old boring anime nice girl love interest? Mecha-Ude.
He said, let me make my counter argument. I didn't get what she was saying. I don't speak fluent woman all the time. She hit a part of the dialect I didn't understand. Mysterious, dangerous man. I'm just unaware of the logic. But now we see crazy women in wet clothing covered in blood. You look right past the blood. What is blood? Does it stain? Who cares? She's all good with me.
Behind this production is almost as interesting as the story of the show itself. The brainchild of Sai Okamoto, a young, ambitious animator who had a dream of directing her own anime. She put together a team and a Kickstarter, raising $65,000 to fund a pilot, which after years of delays and struggles, her and her newly formed studio Trife managed to complete it. But the dream didn't end there. That was clearly just a stepping stone to a much grander vision, which they announced last year to confirm that a full anime series was in production.
Nice.
And now, 8 years after the original Kickstarter, this is what they have to show for it.
Okay. That's kind of sick. I'm down for that. Oh, you're fucked, brother.
One quick look, and you can immediately tell what the influences are. Glorious, over-the-top action, wearable limbs that are also sentient, Hiroyuki Sawano doing the soundtrack. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought this was an offshoot team from Studio Trigger, but that doesn't stop it from standing out from 90% of the other anime you usually see. It's a loud, in-your-face, bombastic action show that wears its influence on its sleeve, fueled by the passion of the people behind it. This project is clearly a dream come true for the creators involved, and while the plotline might not be something we haven't seen...
I like the character design in this too, and I'm always down with a little bit of mech. Adding a little bit of mech to my anime makes me very, very comfortable. I'm down with this.
I am sincerely hoping that they're able to pull off something special, so I'm going to be keeping a close eye on this.
Yeah!
A harem anime where a guy moves into a shrine and has to pick one of 3 lovely shrine maiden sisters to marry. I think I've seen this exact plot line like 5 times before. One of them was Temperu, and the other 4 were definitely hentai. This feels like an anime that jumped straight out of the mid-2000s. The first 10 minutes was a goddamn speedrun of every cliche harem anime trope you could think of. This could be a nice comfort show, but it's gonna need to do something a bit different to really hook me. Editor, can you rewind back just a bit?
The sneezing?
And again. That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen. Another show revolving around getting married? Is anime trying to tell me something?
Wait, you guys aren't married? What are you doing? Well, what's the holdup? What are we at? 1447? We'll be back here. Where's the part where you showed your potential not wife at? Since you guys aren't married. Is that the beginning? Yeah, it's at the beginning, huh? Yeah. Look at the way you look at her. You don't You don't think she's worth being married? Maybe it's a personal decision. Maybe you just haven't decided she's worth your commitment, but that's fine. Do what you will. It's your life.
Tell me something?
I think it's a bad decision, but it's, whatever.
そんなにいいものなのかな。俺は結婚するって言って指輪をはめて。
There she is.
結婚ってそんなにすごいことなのか。
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's fucking dope. Maybe they don't believe in marriage, Maybe they just believe their love runs out of time.
Workers who decide to stage an entire fake marriage, lying to their co-workers, lying to their parents, going through an entire season-long Kaguya-style plan, all because they're afraid of being transferred to Anchorage, Alaska. Shout out to the 10 anime fans in Anchorage catching strays. Honestly, I'm just happy to see more romance anime with adult characters. This is the type of setting we need more of. Not yet another high school romance with socially awkward teenagers. This time we got two socially awkward adults so adverse to social interactions, they'd rather fake a relationship than just tell their boss they don't want to move to Alaska. So, way more mature. Alright, an all-new original Dragon Ball that was the very last thing Akira Toriyama was working on before he... Hold on a second. Sorry about that, I had to shut my window. I could hear the entire continent of South America from here. Seeing Toei splicing highlights of the Buu arc with modern animation, I get the feeling it's only a matter of time before they decide to do a modern remake. But this time, the entire cast have been turned into kids in what looks like a new adventure with OG Dragon Ball vibes. Not gonna lie though, Goku being a kid isn't gonna stop his fans from saying, well, he's still strong, he can still beat All Might, he can still beat Gojo. Well, Dragon Ball fans, maybe, but can he beat this?
I like how he spent no time on that. He's like, the people who are watching that are already watching it. I am not really interested in Kid Goku again. I had to see it twice. That is 2 more times than anyone needs to see. So I think I'm good on that reading. Why are there so many basketballs? That is entirely too many basketballs.
悔しいって感情も持ってるのに。
猪俣くん、どうしたの？
Ah! Woman basketball! Last season we had a jam-packed, all-you-can-eat buffet of great romance anime to pick from, and this season's heavy hitter seems to be this. Blue Box. I know I said earlier I was looking for a romance outside of a school setting, but I might just have to make an exception for this one, because this was a full-on insulin shot straight into my veins. Not only does it clearly have high production values, especially among the other Blue anime, but it also really looks like they are not shying away from the sports aspect of this show either. You've got your tournament arcs, promise go to nationals, an adorable romance brewing between 2 characters dedicated to their sports. This looks like a real 50-50 split between a sports anime and a romance drama. Manga readers have talked this one up, so I'm expecting a lot of good things, and I'm interested to see how they end up tying the romance to them hitting their goals.
Oh, okay, I was about to say 30 sit-ups is not enough, but every time you get distracted, now we're talking.
あれ、もう行くの？ There's
a show called Kimi wa Meiro-sama, or the official English name, You Are Miss Servant. A great name because as someone who knows a little bit of Japanese, I can confirm it's pretty hard to find an accurate translation of the word Meiro. Can't think of any word at all. This is basically Violet Evergarden meets that crazy maid from Black Lagoon. It's cute, but also she's a kudere, so I don't think I'm going to be able to connect with her that much. On second thought, she might fit right into trash taste. For anyone looking for a magical girl anime, we got Acro Trip, aka PG-13 gushing over magical girls. But the one I got my eye on is Magi Lumiere, for a satirical, grounded take of magical girls where they fight the biggest evil of all. Corporate management. This may be a magical girl anime with fantasy elements, but I don't think we're going to get a more true-to-life representation of the job hiring process in the modern day.
I need a job! No
I stand
money.
corrected. This one was surprisingly enjoyable. You've got an all-powerful
Demon Lord 2099. I'm in
Lord
my
with
bag.
unmatched potential, a mastery of deadly magic, is
Yeah.
able to bend the entire world to his will.
Right.
He gets resurrected 500 years later into a cyberpunk world where his legacy is forgotten,
That's
his
right.
followers have moved on, and technology has rendered his all-powerful magic completely
It's
useless.
everything that we have. Welcome to capitalism, baby. I got an air fryer on my counter.
Motherfucker just got the true Zoltrak experience.
Yeah.
It's a mishmash of such a wide variety of tropes, genres, and settings, and somehow it works. You're seeing Anos Voldigode getting humbled and being forced to survive in the world of Cyberpunk 2077, where the show asks, what can even a demon lord do when he has no job prospects, no qualifications, no experience to speak of, and no practical skills that would be useful at all?
What is Microsoft Excel? Can you speak spreadsheet, Demon Man? I think not. Is he streaming?
He becomes a Twitch streamer.
That's what's up.
This is getting a bit too real. The corporate experience doesn't end there, though, as we have an anime about an unlikely duo rising up to become the
Trillion
world's
game.
first trillionaires. Their secret? Spend all their early investments on stupidly expensive office chairs like this. Like, okay, I'm not looking for the most realistic story in the world, but how's that gonna help?
He's literally in one.
These guys are going to be trillionaires, I tell you. They
Damn.
know exactly what they're doing. This is 100% based on reality. Like how a lot of the internet's reacted to this. When you hear a title like My Wife Became an Elementary School Student, you're probably going to be like, damn. They're letting Drake fund anime now? Anyone who actually watches this will realize this is a ridiculous title that misrepresents the type of show that this is. 10 years on, after a man lost his wife to illness, he and his daughter have never gotten over it. A shadow of the people they used to be. Nothing has truly filled that hole that their wife and mother had left when she passed away.
I see.
Until one day when she shows up at their door as a reincarnated 10-year-old kid.
Wait a minute. It's exactly what you said it was. It's exactly what you said it was. Now, what kind of foolery are you playing on me, Tom? Or is this just your tomfoolery?
Except, no. The family gets a second chance to spend precious
What?
time together. The father rediscovers his purpose. The daughter gets her motherly role model back that she was missing. But as the episodes play out, you feel this melancholic atmosphere. We're all armed with the knowledge that these happy times can't last forever. Eventually, they're going to have to face the reality of the situation, and you're sitting there, prepping your heart for when that ball's finally going to drop. It's a story
What's
about
the ball that
coping with the
drops?
loss of a loved one and how to move on from that. And while the title is bait as hell, it could have been worse. I mean, what if it was this exact title except, oh no. Uzumaki.
That doesn't. You can't play this game on me.
Junji Ito is one of the most influential mangakas in the horror world, producing some of the most unnerving, terrifying stories you can find in the medium. True works of art that deserve an anime that give them justice. But time after time after time again, people have attempted to adapt his work, and every single time without fail, it has resulted in an anime that was more cursed than the stories it was adapting. That is, until 5 years ago, a trailer was released on what is arguably his magnum opus, Uzumaki. And the most terrifying thing about this was, unthinkably, it actually looked good. This was it,
alright.
the last chance. If this didn't work, there was no hope in hell a good adaptation could ever be done. Just one more time, we can hope. Then, radio silence for 5 whole years.
Is this coming out?
Until today, when I'm proud to say they finally did it. They actually did it, boys. Look at this. This is beautiful. It's unnerving. It's everything a Junji Ito adaptation should be.
Yeah,
They did
yeah.
it. They really did it.
Oh yeah, let's check that out. No. It's
I hate everything.
Oh, that's excellent, dude. Listen, I do have to head out. I can't actually finish this vid. I stayed a bit too long anyways. I'll holler at you guys a bit later. If you have any women problems, just remember the peen is normally the last step. You'll do well if you just keep it wrapped up. I didn't forget about you. Love you all. I'll holler. Peace.